Alright, I'm gonna spoil Shadow of the Colossus, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Chrono Trigger. So, I'm bringing up those two unrelated games because Shadow of the Colossus and Red Dead Redemption 2, they don't really end on much of a happy note. I mean, Arthur Morgan literally dies from an illness and injuries from getting beaten and whatnot. And, he was way cooler than John Marston. Like, yeah, John Marston gets the happier ending, but Arthur Morgan was way cooler. And Shadow of the Colossus, that game ends with you basically killing giant monsters, and at the end of the game, you revert back to a baby and lose all your memory and whatnot. But at least the woman that you were trying to bring back to life does end up coming back, but she has no idea about what you did and whatnot. So I don't really mind games that end on a sad or bittersweet note. So anyway, Chrono Trigger is a 1995 game created by the maker of Final Fantasy, and the art style was done by Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball and, Dr. Slump. It has a great art style. Like, for a 1995 game, this is one of the best looking 90s games ever. And so what happens is that three characters, Chrono, the silent protagonist, Luca, aka Boma, the inventress who makes a time machine, and a girl named Marl end up traveling through time by accident. Characters later find out that the world is going to end in the year 1999. The characters live in the year 1000, so they're about 999 years away from the apocalypse. Like, by the time the apocalypse happens, these characters are going to be long gone. However, they selfishly decide to try and change the future in 1999 to have a better alternative because they're just selfless. They're just selfless like that. The world ending isn't their problem, but they decide to try and do something about it anyway. And that's really beautiful. And you might be thinking, well, oh wait a second, this is a time travel plot. Those are usually crappy, and you're right. Usually, time travel plots are crappy. That's why they're so rare to be pulled off. When they think of a bad time travel story, you might think of something like Sonic 06 or one of the future Kingdom Hearts games. Yuck. But Chrono Trigger keeps things very nice and simple. Your actions in the past will affect the present and future, and it's a really cool detail. The game also has multiple endings of mostly comic relief endings. Like there's even like one ending where you can actually meet the creators of the game apparently. However, having multiple endings, is not a bad thing. In fact, I think this is one of the first games ever to actually use New Game Plus. And best of all, I like many JRPGs which take about 30, 40, sometimes even 80 hours to beat. Persona. Oh wait, no, Persona 5 takes about 100 hours to beat. But unlike many JRPGs that take a very long time to beat, like over a week, Chrono Trigger, you can actually beat it in like a day or two. The main story is only 20 hours long. There is extra content, but in my opinion, it's not worth it because one, it wasn't in the original game, and two, there's a lot of backtracking. And this is coming from someone who completed the game. Just focus on the main story. It's good enough as it is. Like the extra stuff, it's not worth it. So one of the endings in this game has you crash the epoch, and that's basically the invention that the characters fly in that can travel through time, or at least at certain points in time. The characters fight dinosaurs, advanced futuristic robots. They fight demons and whatnot. They went through a lot. And during the final boss, you have the option to actually crash the epoch, and don't do that. If you do that, see, that will lead to the characters actually losing in the year 1005. The characters go back into the year 1000 with a happy ending, but without a way to travel through time and whatnot, they're pretty much stuck in that period. So, yeah, whatever you do not crash an epoch because the characters get screwed over big time. It is one of the worst endings I've ever seen in a video game. And ironically, this is one of my favorite video games, So, yeah, first time you do this game, just beat it normally and don't crash a time traveling machine. There's no logical story reason to actually do so. So, yeah, other than that, this game needs to come to other consoles. I mean, I'm glad it's on PC, but the problem with the PC version, and I tested this out on other computers, the problem with the PC version that it does randomly crash. And the game does autosave a lot, but it's still annoying. Please, just release this game to PS5 at least.